Yo, 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 it's your boy, Mr. 100 subscribers. Finally, we did it, hooray. I sound so ungrateful. No, I am so grateful, like, the fact that we actually hit that goal before the end of the year. We still got a whole month left, 200 subscribers? No, but seriously, I am endlessly thankful to each and every one of you who have subscribed and have been sticking around for all this craziness that I've been doing. Do continue to stick around. The fun's only just begun. But either way, we're back here on this familiar nostalgia bait set because I figured from now on I'm gonna give different sets or just different backgrounds for things that I'm gonna talk about. The familiar Dragon Ball thing in the background, that'll be used mainly for anime discussions and reactions and whatnot. Whereas the nostalgia baits thing will be used for when I actually decide to actually react to nostalgia things. But I think I'll also use it for discussing things that warrant nostalgia, such as Star Wars. That is what we will be discussing today, Star Wars, specifically Andor Season 1, as that has just ended as of this last Wednesday. And oh man, there's a lot to discuss there. Right out of the gate, I'm gonna get this out of the way. No, I'm just gonna say it. Andor is the best Disney Plus Star Wars show that has been released. I'm probably gonna go as far as say it's the best Disney Plus original thing that they have made. I'm counting that including like Marvel and everything else that they've done. And you know why? Because they, for once, gave complete creative freedom to them. And they didn't decide to Disney it up. Obi-Wan Kenobi. And goddamn did it show for this show. Let's just slowly break this down. First things first, obviously, spoiler warning. I will definitely be spoiling this show because I think it's pretty much impossible to talk about it without spoiling it, so. And plus I just like going unfiltered and raw. I'll give praise to the actors in this show. There was not one performance that I thought was lacking in this whole show. Everyone absolutely came and gave it their A game and just truly gave life to the characters that they were portraying. Especially Diego Luna. Like, he was obviously one of the standouts in Rogue One. Cassian has always been, ever since that movie, a character's been like, yeah, he's really cool. This show absolutely just solidified. Just Cassian has become just one of the GOATs now. And it's so sad because it's like he only is just gonna be in this show and Rogue One. Fucking phenomenal character. Holy shit. And just, again, Diego Luna. He's become a GOAT. I mean, he's always been a great actor, but this absolutely solidified. Like, give the man, what did TV shows get? Emmys? Is that right? I never know. But yeah, give the man nominations at least. I mean, give a lot of people nominations. I feel like every person in this show, is worth an award. Or at least a nomination. Goddamn. And then going through, the structure of this show was definitely something I loved. It literally was structured like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. The first 3 episodes, which all aired at once, which was really cool, was just the introduction, just the Ferrex story, and really just what kicks off the entire show as a whole. Those are the first 3 episodes. The next 3 episodes are Aldani. Then the next 4 episodes are the prison. And then the last 2 are the wrap-up and sort of just making this show come full circle. I just love how the first 3 stories felt like they were different, but at the same time they were all connected. The prison story, absolutely, I feel like for most people, it's like that one was my favorite of all of them, just because it truly just captured just that imperial oppression and just the fear. Now, even though it's all the prisoners outnumber the guards, it's like they still all have that fear of the empire and the consequence of defying them. And I think it's just the thing that me and definitely a lot of other people love most about this show is the fact that it doesn't feel like anything else that has been made in Star Wars. And it's not trying to be edgy or anything like that, where it's trying to be so different that it's like, hey, look at us. We're not kiddie space adventure anymore. We're gritty. It doesn't feel Disney, is what I'm trying to say. They were definitely trying their best to make it different, so much so but they didn't even use the volume, Mandalorian, Book of Boba, and everything else before it has used and sort of been relying on. It's this one's just nope, we're just gonna CG it up and make it look better than any CG that Disney has done for Star Wars, like including the movies. Jumping around a bit, but when we got to the prison arc and then all of a sudden out of nowhere walks fucking Andy Serkis, I was like, yo! I hope no one actually believes these theories, but it's like the theory is just like, oh, it's the Snoke's origin story, because Andy Serkis plays Snoke, or, you know, he mocaps and voices him, but like the character of Kino, he's become one of my favorites, even though he's only like 4 episodes of one show. They did confirm though that he lived, so hopefully he comes back for season 2, even though he said, I can't swim. To be fair, when they were doing the escape, I feel like that should have been a moment that Cassian probably should have died. He didn't jump off into the water, he got pushed. So again, if he like found a way to maneuver himself to in mid-air to, like, you know, land safely, because if he landed that far on his back, might have died, or at very least been very fucked up. Again, it all works out. Obviously he's not supposed to die. I'm sure a lot of people have gone to watch Rogue One as soon as finishing this show. I want to, but like I'm sort of gonna wait, actually, because I know season 2 is coming within the next couple years, because I know they just started filming it, so gonna be a bit. I kind of want to wait until it's the completed story of Andor, and then I'll watch Rogue One. Like, I haven't really watched it it's been a couple years since I've watched it, like, in its entirety. Like, you know, I've watched that hallway scene countless times. I mean, if I'm gonna rewatch it again, I'm gonna rewatch it for Cassian and Andor. Like, the little Easter eggs and everything in this show were not so in your face as past Star Wars shows have been and whatnot. It's like, they're all subtle, they're all little ones where it's like, yeah, if you're a fan of the series, you'll know them. It's just like, especially every time I went to Stellan Skarsgård's pawn shop, all the Easter eggs in there, like the Gungan shield, the Padme headdress, the Star Killer armor, the temple guard thing. It was one of the Indiana Jones, I think it was Ark Covenant was in the background. Just, you know, you always got to have those room of Easter eggs. Yeah, and Luthen, yeah, that character, Stellan Skarsgård's character, amazing portrayal. I know there's some theories where it's like, is he a Jedi? I hope not. Like, no, he doesn't need to be, and he shouldn't be. Like, he's just this guy who just knows the way of the galaxy. He knows how to traverse the world. And honestly, I might see it ending in a similar way to how, like, Han Solo and Tobias Beckett's relationship in the Solo movie, where it's like he's like this mentor figure to him, and it eventually ends with maybe Andor, you know, having to kill him, like how Han did. Because I do know that there's gonna be like a 1-year time skip between season 1 and 2. I imagine it's going to be Andor and Luthen just on their ship for a little while. Disney absolutely just needs to take notes from Andor, because not just for Star Wars stuff, for everything. It's like, let people have their creative freedom. Let the fans' praise of this be shown. People have been trashing on pretty much everything. It's like, unless it's Mandalorian, and even then, there's still valid criticisms of Mandalorian, many of which I've given. Whereas with this show, it's like, I don't have any, really. It's like, all in all, Andor is like a perfect show for what it's trying to do. It's not trying to be part of like this crazy, just, you know, the Force, Jedi, anything. It's like, who cares? Like, this is like the down-to-earth, like just the average person just experiencing the Empire, just someone trying to survive it. And just the slow building of the rebellion with like Mon Mothma and all that, and how even though we're only like 4 years out from Rogue One and episode 4, the rebellion is still barely a thing. It's like Saw Gerrera is like all there is of the rebellion in terms of like a solid fight against the Empire. And even then, like, no one supports him because he's such an extremist. And just also seeing like the insides of the Empire with like the Dedra Meero story, just seeing more of the insides of the ISB, because it's like, we only saw the ISB in Rebels. Like, that was the first time we canonically have been introduced to the ISB. I'm glad now they're building upon that even more, because that's one of my favorite aspects of the Empire, is the ISB, the Imperial Security Bureau. Like, just because it's like, the Empire is not necessarily evil. Like, the Emperor and Vader, like, you know, they're evil at that point. But like, you know, the average Imperial worker, it's like they're just trying to get by. It's like they're just doing what they think is right. It makes sense that a lot of like the rebels end up being Imperial, like they switch from the Empire. Yeah, I really hope going into season 2 we see a lot more of like Cassian's like younger years. Like, I loved when they showed just a little bit of Clone Wars stuff, just because, you know, by this point, if you don't know, I'm a huge Clone Wars fan. Like, that's still my be-all end-all of Star Wars, but I loved, like, in a little bit of his flashback, they went back and showed some clones, and how Ferrix has always been a bad place for oppression, even during the Clone War. This show was absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to see more of, hopefully, Disney just taking inspiration from what has been created here and just applying it to other things, just trying things with this kind of format, because it works, clearly. Like, obviously don't try to one-for-one replicate it with something else, you know, just try, see what works, because, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Book of Boba Fett did not work, but this did. If you don't know by now, for like anime and other things, I usually rank it on a 1 to 10 scale, But for Star Wars stuff, I have a tier list. Again, check out the video. The list goes from True Jedi to A, B, C, D, F. And well, where do I rank Andor? Well, I think it should be obvious. Andor, even though it kind of feels wrong to put it in this tier, it goes in True Jedi. True Jedi, S, God, it has been the pinnacle of what Disney has created so far. And well, that is that. Do let me know what you thought of Andor and everything down in the comments below, as well as just what you hope to see Disney create in the future when it comes to Star Wars products. And hopefully when it comes to Mando Season 3 and Ahsoka, we don't bounce back, but we probably will. But either way, I'll be here nonetheless talking about it and maybe watching it. But either way, thank you all for joining me on this. I'm Lancer. Thanks for watching.